Welcome back to 10 Foot Customs, and we are in the shop today. It's been 8 months roughly since we started this project, and tomorrow we actually will finish half-ish of what this building was originally put in for. So as you can see behind me here, we've got a form put in and all this gravel back here, and this is going to be ready for a concrete pour tomorrow. So a couple things I have to finish up before tomorrow happens. This board comes out. It's 2 screws. This board comes out. We can drive the concrete buggy through here to get all the concrete back there. I snapped a line and then markered it all the way along. That's where my concrete final height is going to be. It's 2 inches below the footer height, which is what I wanted. It just gives an edge, and I don't know, it just seemed like that's what I should do. I have no reason why I did it. But I have to put expansion. I'm going to take that line and put expansion joint all the way along the edge. It'll help as a vapor barrier from that edge and a little bit of insulation barrier if I ever decide to heat this. Keep the cold air from the wall from coming onto the slab. Then I got to put plastic down now. My plastic is behind. I ordered it from Home Depot last week, and it was supposed to be here today. And it might not be here till tomorrow, so that could be a problem if it's here late, but I just have to go buy something different. I'm gonna tamp this probably tomorrow as well. The pour happens at noon tomorrow. The truck will be here at noon. I've got a couple guys from work coming to give me a hand. I got Kobe will be here to help, and I don't know if I'll have anybody else, so it might just be 4. Sam will be here too, but I don't know what his plans are. So there may be 4 to 5 of us here tomorrow working on getting the concrete in. It should be a relatively easy thing. But yeah, the truck comes at noon, get the concrete in, and we're going to try to put as smooth of a surface on it as possible. We are not concrete guys. We work with concrete at work, but we're not concrete guys. So it's going to be what it's going to be. It'll smooth-ish, flat-ish surface, and I'll be ecstatic. The purpose of the back of this part of the garage, how I had it planned out in my mind, was that the pallet racking there's 2 sections of pallet racking. I may have to get a couple of different more cross members for it, but one piece will go there, one piece will go there. There'll be about a 2-foot gap in the middle, which is fine. We can bring the toolboxes, put them underneath. So we'll have the first board set at about 6.5 feet, so you can walk underneath it. Have all the toolboxes up there. Maybe put pegboard against the back wall for tools. And then it would be getting 4 cars on this slab. Eventually I wanted there to be 2 4-post mobile lifts going here. That way we can get 4 cars stacked and have this piece of concrete still open and still have 4 cars back here. But as it is, even if I have to park cars here for the wintertime, I'd like to get cars off my driveway. I can get 4 cars on this slab flat. There's not going to be much room around them, but there would be room for 4 cars. And if I got to put cars over on this side for the wintertime, just put a tarp or a piece of plastic under them so the moisture from the bottom doesn't come up and rot them out. But we'll see. If we can get a pour done on this part before winter, it would be amazing. I just don't think we're going to have the funds to do that this year. But this side, if I do it how it's going to happen probably this year, would be the pallet racking. Then the Skyline would go here. The Nova would go in this corner. The Porsche would probably go here. And then I would put Rusty right up here, because Rusty can come out of the garage. I can then work on Rusty in here. If I have to roll them off and roll them back on, that's fine too if I need more space. Easy to do, roll them off of the slab onto the gravel, roll them back up onto the concrete when I'm done. And then the Corvette can go in the garage where Rusty currently sits. That would technically be 5 cars off the driveway, which would pretty much leave the Fiero as the only car not in the garage. But again, we could put a piece of plastic right along this wall and put the Fiero right there, and there'd just be 3 cars here, and it would still leave me space here. If we had to work on a car in a bind, like we had to do brakes or something like that in a bind, we could do that right here. As you can see, the garage is filling, even though we're not even it's not even a usable space yet for what we need it to be. Stuff is already getting brought in here, so I got to get concrete in here to be able to organize this a little bit better. But that's fine. Again, worry about that later. So that's where we are. I have to put expansion joint up, so I'm going to work on that. I have bought pieces of rigid foam expansion that's going to go all the way right below this blue line, and that'll do 2 things. One, it'll, again, an expansion joint and vapor barrier, kind of a little bit of insulation to keep the slab from freezing as much, but it gives it some room for movement. If I ever decide to heat the garage, it'll try to keep some of the cold air from transferring through the slab into the floor. But because I went with more of a rigid foam, we can actually use that for our screed board to sit on and give us a nice flat edge on this side. And then, if that all goes to plan, and the truck is here at noon, and we get the truck unloaded by 1, which I don't see as a problem. It's only 8.5 yards of concrete, which is going to be, that's calculated for this to be 5 inches thick, and it's really mostly only 4 inches thick, which is fine. 4 inches thick is fine, but I calculated for 5 inches just to make sure I had enough concrete. One, I'm going to actually also put I'm going to dig this out and put in a form here, just in case we have extra concrete. There's no reason to waste concrete. If I can put a small slab in front of this doorway, that'd be great, so I'm going to do that. And then I bought some concrete dye, and if I can, I'm going to try to dye the floor like that. I don't know if it's going to work. This was a test piece that I did, and I think it looks amazing. I love it. I'm going to use this as a stepping stone somewhere. I'll make more of them if I would need more stepping stones. It was pretty easy to make with 1 bag of concrete, 1 80-pound bag of concrete. And then I mixed up the dye in the into a sprayer and just kind of splashed on it, because the sprayer failed immediately because the pigment in the powder just killed the sprayer. But I don't mind that look either. It just random spots. So that is what I want my floor to look like. We will see if we can make that. If we can't make that happen, I'm also okay with just a normal floor, but I'd like my floor to look slightly different. So that's what we're going to try. So I'm going to work on getting expansion joint on the walls. And it's already kind of late in the day. I've got a doctor's appointment later, so I'm going to have to go to that. So that's going to take up some time. But I need to have the expansion joint on the wall by tomorrow, so I'm going to work on that now to see if I can get 16 pieces, 2 screws. Shouldn't be super difficult. Shouldn't take me very long at all. Get the expansion. Oh, and wire. I got wire. I got to go pick up wire tomorrow. I'm putting wire in the floor as well. Put the plastic down, put the wire down, and then we'll put grade pins in the middle of the floor here so we can grade the concrete from the wall to the grade pins, and then we'll be done. But you'll see that tomorrow, because even though I'm going to be probably in there screeding, I'll probably have somebody on the camera shooting what they can. And so yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. It is 10 o'clock at night, and it is taking me literally all day to do the floor over here. This is what we have. So all of the expansion joint is in, and all of the plastic is tucked up almost to the very top of the expansion joint, and this will keep the moisture from the ground from coming through. And we put the concrete down because I have it tucked up underneath there, and screws holding all the expansion joint on. It shouldn't pull any of this out. And then again, we can use the expansion. If you look down here, you can see the blue line is where my concrete has to be. So we're going to use the expansion for the screed. I haven't gotten the stakes in the middle here to know where I'm putting the, I totally lost the name of them. we're going to be putting stakes, 5 stakes in here with a height on them so that we can screed to them. So that way we know what the middle is supposed to be. And then we'll bull float it, and then we'll Fresno float it, and get as smooth as a surface as possible. But yeah, this is pretty much ready for tomorrow. I've got to get the wire. So first thing in the morning, we're going to go get the wire. It's right here in town. Just got to go get it. And then in about 14 hours from now, concrete shows up and we start putting concrete in here. Wish us luck. It is Friday morning and we've got our wire mesh. We got some plywood to drive on. And we are going to start setting the mesh up. They go this way, straight out toward me.
Oh, yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Just try not to poke holes in the plastic. We'll slide them back. Oh, I was going to do them this way. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, we would need 4 sheets.
You're right, we do. And I have enough to do 4 sheets. Yeah, they'll have a little bit of overlap in the middle, obviously, because they're 5 feet wide, and it's 19 feet between walls. So it'd be like 2 inches of overlap or something. 3 inches. 3 times, oh, no, 4 inches. 4 times 3 seams.
How close does it get?
I think we're going to go right to the foam. Close enough, I think. I mean, that little corner is not going to crack. So like overlap like half a square, maybe?
I mean, we'll see. I guess maybe that is right.
It is 11:30. The truck comes here at noon. And it is still just me and Kobe here. Hopefully, the concrete buggy shows up here within the next half hour. The wire is down, so when we pour the concrete, we're just going to lift the wire up into the concrete. We don't have the chairs for it. I hear both reasons to have them and not have them, and I could have had Andrew 3D print them, and it's like most of the guys I'm going to be working with said, don't worry about it. We're using number 8s, it'll get underneath there, it'll be fine. Screed pins, which we haven't set yet because we don't have a third person here yet. To set the screed pins down here in the middle. There'll be 2 more once we get this plywood moved out. We can put the last 2 screed pins in. But that's it. We got this ramp of old plywood to help not tear up this stone while we're trying to get it all in there, and so the buggy doesn't sink. We have a gap here, but once we get to one of these sides, we can pull one of those sheets and take it down that way. So that won't be a problem either. I put some kind of hanger things up here to hopefully be able to walk the edge of the building. If I have to get out there for some reason, I can get on both sides and walk out to the edge of the building. Yeah, so now we're literally just waiting for, right now, 2 more guys. And there's.
Sam and Brian.
Oh my gosh! I was like, that's how Brian. I'm like, wait a minute, he didn't bring a concrete buggy. That scared me. Okay, well, there's Sam and Drea. But anyway, so we're still waiting for a concrete buggy to show up. Very good. There's our truck backing down the road. Concrete buggy's here. We have 2 more workers. I think we've got everything we need right now. Grade pins are in. I'm going to set the camera up, and I'm not quite sure what you're going to get from here on out because I'm going to be screeding. Kobe's going to be running buggy. Folger will be raking. And, well, yeah, we'll find out what we get. sort of buildings who are halfway decent are going to be dropped. Because
It is going to serve every purpose that you need it to
but
do.
all of the measurements taken from day one were done by me, and I suck at measurements.
It's definitely sticking up.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Like the
all way
boot
down.
marks up.
Right, not going all the way down to the bottom. Yep. Good.
One more. Right?
Yep.
Yep. Wait, you can't like kick the shit in.
No, it's setting. I mean, not setting hard, but it's trying to be stiff on it. Got a little extra concrete. Okay. 8.5 is probably enough.
Yeah. Better to have it, not to use it.
I know.
Right?
Yep. Digging in a little bit, but I'm trying to come down a little bit too.
Hold on. Okay. Yep. Let me just pull mine a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. Now back and forth. Good.
Yeah, I got the Canadian. So that'll float out. I'm not really concerned about that.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll float out. It's not that high, it's not that much, but a little bit. Okay, where are we at? Well, we Fresnoed it and basically steel troweling it. Now I gotta go out on the knee boards again, way out there, and check that edge and make sure that's all properly in. So I'm gonna basically go over it by hand now, just check to make sure the whole thing is smooth. It's really close to smooth right now with the Fresno being run over it. And then I'm gonna try to put color into it. I did color out here and I think it looks great. So there's the color on that. I think it looks awesome. So I'm gonna try to do that again in the center. So we will find out what happens. It has been a long day. I'm tired. We ordered too much concrete by about a half yard. The half yard I was scared that I didn't have. I ordered. I think I had that left over. And it's in two gigantic piles I just broke up so I can get it out of here eventually. I may have messed up part of the floor because I was on it too long. I was trying to smooth it out with the steel trowel and I was just out there too long, and I was pulling up the cream down to the aggregate, and I got it back down smooth, but I don't think that's strong anymore. I think I've ruined that. So we'll see how that goes. I'll show you what it looks like. I like the look. I just hope I didn't damage the floor too much. So there's the floor. That's all of it. So when I was out here in the middle trying to work it and coming out, it was hard enough that I could walk on it and not leave much footprint. I was still trying to scrub out what I made when I was going in. So no, this floor is not fantastically, perfectly smooth and as nice as a company would do. Again, as long as I didn't damage it, scrubbing it out, I will be happy. I like the modeling of the blue. I don't know how well that's gonna stick here. It might stick well. You can see where it's drying, it's kind of a light blue, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Light blue is fine. I just didn't want it to be just that normal concrete color. We'll see. Once the concrete gets to that whitish color, that may disappear, and this light blue may disappear into it. You might not even see it because it's almost the same color as the dry concrete, but we'll see. Again, it's not. It wasn't ideal when I was working this last little bit out of here, and I'm kind of unhappy with that for myself, that I think I did some damage. Then I tried to edge this, and it was so hard that I ripped stuff out that I think, again, I got it back in, but I can't be structural anymore. We'll see. I just got some stone on there. It's dry enough that I can walk on it. Don't worry about that. This is the amount of concrete I have left over. I broke it up, luckily. Again, I was trying to work on this, and this was getting hard. So I broke it up with a pickaxe so it would be movable, at least. Same with this small pile over here. I got to finish breaking this little piece up here. I'm going to slide this board back if I can so I don't keep knocking stuff onto there. We also had enough concrete left over to build some stepping stones. So we did these stepping stones for wherever. And this came out with one of the nicest things that came out. This Second Thought concrete pad. I like the borders clean, but the center's blue. Again, I don't know how long the blue is going to last, but I like it. I think it looks cool. More dye left over. So yeah, it was a long day, and I haven't eaten yet, and I need to get some food. So that's it with half of the garage pour. It went so well this morning with only 4 of us working, and it was just that last little bit of finish time that it just got away from me, and I should have paid more attention to how long I was out cleaning up the back edge and just cleaned up quick and gotten off the concrete, but I didn't, and that's my fault. And that's also part of the reasons why I am doing the floor like myself, because if something went wrong, it's my fault, and I have to be like, oh, I did that. I messed that up. But also, I can also say that I did this floor, obviously with help. I definitely didn't do this on my own, but with help, I did this entire floor. The majority of this building has been stuff that I've learned how to do by doing it here and messing it up, or not messing it up, depending on how it happened. And in 15, 20 years, whatever, grandkids, we built this. I mean, obviously not this part of it, but we built everything else. All the concrete we did ourselves, and that's exciting for me to be able to say that I had a big hand in my own building. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to clean up the rest of these kind of odds and ends here and go get some food because I am starving. So we'll end the episode with a floor. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope everybody has a great week.